Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Jersey Shore Massacre, where the situation gets deadly.
Written and directed by Paul Tarnopol, executive produced by Jenny J. Well Farley, Jersey Shore Massacre stars Danielle Dallacco, Angelica Boccella, Giovanni Roselli, and Chris Lazzaro, and brought to us by Attack Entertainment. This horror comedy is about a bunch of Guidettes looking for a bunch of Guidos to have a good time. Unfortunately, GTL turns into GT Hell.
Where are we supposed to go?
Stay here with me.
To be completely transparent, we did fly down to NYC to the Jersey Shore Massacre premiere, but this review is going to be spoiler-free and completely unbiased.
What did we like about this movie, guys?
Chris Lazzaro, he was the face of the poster, he was going to be the comic relief, and god damn it, he brought it. His character was Freddy. Everything about him was awesome.
Especially his infectious laugh. The gore was amazing. The gore was done by Kat Bernier. I think it was one of the biggest highlights of this film, and I think that's what's gonna really make the horror fanatics kind of come and see this despite what the name is.
What I really liked about this movie was the humor. I thought they nailed it. I thought as a spoof of like the Jersey Shore persona, it was just perfect and dead on, and all the actors did such a good job being Guidos or Guidettes, and I just thought it was hilarious.
Probably the best scene in this film is when Freddy has to tackle the grenade. Another part I liked about the humor was the foreshadowing that was used in this film. We see Giovanni Roselli, they're talking about all the bugs hitting the fly zapper.
Just mindless life forms following the light, aimlessly into the darkness.
And all the Guidettes were amazingly hot and had great assets.
Which was nice because we got to see some boobies in this movie.
So we saw tons of gore and tons of boobs, which we love. It's a great mixture. The soundtrack in this film was actually really well done. And even the sound effects, they had some of the cheesy stuff that they had in Girls Gone Dead. Just little things that are just like reaffirming that they are self-aware that this is a campy movie.
Especially with Sal's cameo in this one being Italian Ice. Like that song alone was gold.
The cinematography in this film was amazing. There's some nice crane shots that went up and down as people were going up and down stairs. When a girl's reaching in to grab some food out of the fridge, the camera kind of leans towards her ass and then goes back up to her head. There's some small, clever camera tricks that I thought were fantastic.
Let's give a rundown of our favorite kills.
My favorite kill was one of the Guidos. He wears a chain. The killer takes his chain off and replaces it with a chainsaw chain, puts it on some kind of motor and just cranks it. It just slices right through his head, blood's going everywhere. One of the better practical effects in the movie. It was incredible.
My favorite kill is when a character decides to take a shower. She is just sliced half to hell with just a whole bunch of blood just pouring out of her. Her boobs are just getting sliced off. I imagine it to be painful.
So my favorite kill happens to a gorilla. They be tanning all the time. And what better death than in a tanning bed? And he's fried crisp. And it was cool because it was one of those like throwbacks to like other horror films. During that time, Trav's death was happening, and that's a throwback to Psycho. It's awesome how they tied in these kills to other horror films.
Let's talk about what we didn't like. My main dislike in this movie was the fact that they brought up how he roofied girls and raped her. They were already douchey enough. We didn't have to go into that territory. From what I know of the Jersey Shore, they don't have a hard time catching them ladies. So I just think it was just something that didn't need to be, and it was just excessive to build up bad characters. So.
My biggest dislike was that some of the scenes were cut too short. Specifically when Gigi, played by Christina Scaglione, was screaming. She had a great scream and they cut it off like a second and a half before like she belted the whole thing out. And I wanted to hear that scream. Some of the kills I can understand why they were cut off to make a better rating, but I mean I still would have liked to see more of all of the kills, specifically when a couple is having sex, and there's another homage to Friday the 13th. That scream is the one that I think was just cut for no reason.
No, it's stupidity. S-T-U-pidity.
I mean, my dislike is pretty much the same as Jay's. I would have liked to see more of the practical effects after the characters are died. I get why, but it's just something I would have liked.
Let's give our final thoughts and ratings.
It was exactly like Girls Gone Dead, only with the Jersey Shore theme. We got boobs, great kills, comedy. It was the perfect package. There wasn't a lot I didn't like about it. Don't judge it by its title, because seriously, this film is awesome. So that being said, I'm going to give it 4.5, not giving a bucks out of 5.
I agree with John. This movie is great. I think it's a perfect spoof on the Jersey Shore characters. I think it plays well with the horror genre. I think the gore is great. The acting's done well. It's overall really enjoyable. So I'm going to give this 4.5 rats getting whacked out of 5.
Being a fan of Jersey Shore and Girls Gone Dead, I couldn't wait to see this film. It had some hilarious comedy with a lot of throwbacks to Jersey Shore. We had tons of gore, great looking women, and they all show their boobs almost. I think the sound was awesome, cinematography was awesome, and I only had a few qualms about some of the editing choices. So I'm gonna give this 4.5 dildos to the face out of 5. Now that's what we thought about the film. If you've seen it, let us know in the comments below. Like this video, sub to the channel to stay updated with our reviews and our games of What Would You Do, and make sure you tweeted us with any recommendations for films to review at Bloodbath_TV.